Let go, let go. I think we are officially, let me just refresh my screen. We might be live. Let's
Okay.
check it out.
It says live.
Yes, it does say live in the corner, but
All
it
right.
takes a second for it to pop up on the books. Oh, there we are. We're
Okay.
live.
I see us.
Direct in effect.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Y'all come on in. Come on in. Welcome to Heightened and Enlightened, the life show. What's happening? I'm Ashley.
I'm Rolo.
I'm the
And that's Shay.
magnificent Shay.
I got you, Shay. Don't even worry about it. I got you.
Don't do me. I can do me.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Hey, girl.
Hello, everybody coming on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Yeah, y'all come on in. We got something for you tonight. We're about to have some fun. We're about to talk some mess. It's about to go down.
I'm ready.
We're going to laugh. We're going to hang out, kick it, giggle.
Y'all just already know we got to get ourselves shared out. Make sure that we are everywhere we need to be at. So just hold tight. Make sure that you drop your name and where you're tuning in from in the comments.
Okay.
City, state, whatever information you want to give us, we want to hear it.
Right. There we go. Boom. Okay. Come on. See, these devices, I got a love-hate relationship with these things.
I was just thinking the same thing for real.
This is like crazy work. Boom.
Not it showing my entire bald spot on camera. Okay. Whole thing.
So
Not just
turns
part of
out
the
it's
head
all
showing
bald
the
spot.
whole
Which
all the
part are
way
we
to the
talking about?
Turns out.
Can you tell me which spot we're talking about? Because, brother,
Come on, don't
turn
do
to
that.
the left,
Look.
turn to the right. Oh, you got a little patch of hair on the side. I see
Look,
you.
it's
Okay,
all the
okay.
way.
Oh, gosh.
I told you I'm gonna get one of the man wigs they got. Next week I'm gonna have waves.
Don't even trip, brother. We're gonna stop. We're gonna get you one. All
Boom.
right.
There
So
we
let me
go.
go back to my regular page, Miss Michelle. Hey, Jose. What's up, y'all? Come on in. Come on in. We're about to have some fun, y'all. Super fun topic tonight. Old school parenting versus new school parenting. Y'all
Okay,
tap
okay.
in. We're about to have some fun.
Yeah,
We're
that's
about to tell
definitely
some
gonna be
old
Right.
school
fun.
stories.
Okay.
All right. Y'all at followers in the comments, all of our followers and people that are on tonight, make sure you highlight for us and make sure you hit that at followers like I just did in the comments. If you guys are popping on, make sure that you say what's up. Let us know that you're here.
Right. Don't just be looking like a looker. You know what I'm saying? Say something, y'all.
Don't be creeping and not speaking. Hey,
Don't be looking like a
JJ. What's
looker.
up, baby girl? I
Okay.
just shared it out to the Heightened and Enlightened page, so you guys can watch from there. You can watch from my page, or you can watch from YouTube,
Uh-huh.
our Heightened and Enlightened, the podcast.
And I think Rolo and I should have it on our pages too. So our friends can go click on it and
Definitely.
yeah.
So
So
from your personal pages, you highlight at followers on there.
yeah. Well, no, from my I did.
Heard, got it.
All
Good,
right.
good. That means we're
Okay.
2 steps ahead of the game.
Okay.
What's up, Shannon? Welcome in. Old school parenting, new school parenting. We want to hear from both
Yes,
sides
yes,
tonight. Y'all come on in. We're about to have some fun tonight and talk some mess.
yes.
Hey,
Right.
we kind of in between though.
I
Our
know, right?
generation kind of the in between the old
Right.
school and the new school.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see where everybody else falls into that.
Right. Okay.
Okay, y'all. So while we're getting set up, I want y'all to drop in the comments, are you an old school parent or a new school parent?
Yeah, let us
Let's
know.
look, let's see it. Old school or new school?
What
Hi,
kind of parent?
Raya.
I feel like I'm a mix between old and new a little bit.
I know I am.
Well, Rolo, to be fair, you are the oldest one here, so you just might be.
That is not true, but I'm not gonna say who is.
You know what? It's okay because I wear my crown. I
Yeah,
am
okay,
the
well,
oldest one
yeah, I
here.
am not the oldest one. I am
Give
the
me my
second
crown.
oldest one. It ain't our fault you the baby.
Shalonda, you are the oldest one. Oh, baby.
It's okay. Give me my crown, baby, because I
I'm
look
the
good.
youngest, y'all, in case y'all can't tell.
And we can't.
Hater.
Okay. So, are we ready for our formal introduction?
Yes, we are.
All
Wait a
right.
minute. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute, y'all. Before we start, please share this out publicly to y'all Facebook pages. Let's get some people on here. Tag some people that you know that you might want to pop on, that might be an old school parent or a new school parent. Like I said, we're about to have some fun, y'all. Let's make sure we get people in here. Make sure that you are sharing us out and tagging your friends.
Yep.
Okay, take us away, baby girl.
Okay, welcome in to this is your show, Heightened and Enlightened, the life show, where you get to hear real stories from real people about real life scenarios. So, y'all, last week we touched on childhood trauma and some of the things that we went through and how to kind of just avoid a little bit of it. You know, none of us are perfect, but we touched on that, and that was really important. So this week we've had to go into old school parenting versus new school parenting. And y'all got to realize some of this parenting causes childhood trauma. So it's kind of overlapping, but we're going to get into this here. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, let's get into it.
So let's do it.
Okay.
Before we get started, I do want to say, you guys, Shalonda wore these glasses today for you guys. I just want you guys to know that she said that when she came on here, she wanted to make sure that she wore glasses so she could be stylish and cute for you guys. So that's why she has glasses on in the daytime inside.
Yeah, she just had to point that out, y'all. I'm having some light sensitivity, so y'all get to bear with me as I Ray Charles it tonight.
She had
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
so let's jump into it. Ash, you want to lead us off?
Stir in the pot. Just stir in the pot.
Yeah, don't get started. Don't get
All
started.
right, so you guys talking about old school parenting, new school parenting. I will say that I pridefully say that I'm a new school parent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do not conform to those ignorant ways of old school parenting.
I know she lied.
Right.
Hey, listen.
Tracy,
Hey.
I would beg to differ.
So when we talk about old school parenting, we're talking about endless butt whoopings for no reason, being punched in the throat, and then telling us, "Hey, you keep crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about." Can I get a snack out the kitchen?
Yeah, that stuff that should not have been going on, man.
Talk about you crying for no reason.
I mean, I'm crying because it hurt.
Yeah, you just beat the mess out of me, and now you want me to stop crying. Hey,
Right?
Bree.
Hey, Bree. Hey, girl.
What's happening, Bree?
Michelle says, "How far back old school are you going?" We're going all the way back.
As far back as you want to think about. I mean, because each generation was raised differently. Like, I hear stories about, you know what I'm saying, like my older cousins and aunties and how they were raised. And I'd be like, dang, and theirs was worse than how I feel like myself and my brothers were raised. And I still am like, the way I was raised was a little bit much. But, each generation is different. So I would definitely like to hear stories from a little bit of everybody. Like, how old are you? Like, what you got going on?
Well,
Shannon says lies. Don't play, Shannon. Y'all know y'all was whooping us just because.
Right.
Hey, Bert.
For real.
Y'all know y'all was whooping us just because. And if you wasn't whooping us just because, then please, by all means, come into the comments and tell us why we got so many whoopings growing up. Why couldn't we just talk about things?
I hope my mama chime in because I know she got something to say. I know.
Listen, I'm sending this to my dad right now. That's what I'm doing, okay? That's why I'm looking down. I'm making sure I get this to him because I need to know. I need some answers tonight.
Because they got some explaining to do.
Yeah, they got some explaining to do. We need everybody on here because we need to know, like, what was y'all doing? Why was y'all whooping us?
I'm sure Lou gonna tune in and let y'all know because look, and let her tell it she got whooped for no reason.
Well, she probably did. You act like an
No,
old school parent.
no.
I will
And
see, I will admit, and I'm gonna take accountability and say that I was an old school parent at first, but then to be for real, I had to like realize that I can't do my kids the same way that I got done because my kids are not me. Now, I was a little more aggressive growing up. I probably I know for a fact I deserved a couple whoopings. You know what I'm saying? But even with that, let's just say fast forward. I got a kid that it don't matter what you do, like whoopings are not gonna solve it. So, like people talk about the new school parenting, how we sit down and communicate. But my thing is, everybody is not willing to be beat into submission. Like you can't just whoop, every kid and expect them to respond the same way. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Hey,
that old
mama.
school stuff that I just don't go with, just hitting the kid every day, all day. And as a parent, I don't even want to be stressed like that. Like I don't even like to feel negative. The negativity that it takes to be whooping a kid every day, I don't even have it in me. Like that's just not even in me. So yeah, I feel like that's the part that I like on the new school side, where they sit down and explain things and articulate the proper way. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, a parent will be mad about something that happened at work, and you come in, hey mom, sit down.
for real.
It was just a whole different time.
Nah,
You know
for
what I'm
real.
saying? The parents didn't know how to separate what they were going through and their struggles versus parenting. You know what I'm saying? Because it is separate. You gotta, as a parent or as a guardian, because everybody doesn't biologically have children, but having that responsibility of someone that you have to take care of, you have to really separate your feelings and your emotions versus what they have going on.
Definitely. But sometimes, I mean, sitting down and talking don't work because I sit my boys down and talk to them, and they'll look me right in the face and be like, "I don't understand." And so
Yeah.
I have to jump up like, "Hey, cuz you gonna figure it out, or we tripping for real?" Like,
He said he got
hey,
to bang on the kids.
hey, for
Here he
real. I'm like,
goes,
hey, quit
banging on the
doing
kids
it.
again.
Hey, I be trying to keep it
Listen,
together, but hey, I need them to understand what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I be trying to say it, and they be like, "It's not what you saying, it's how you saying it." I don't
Yeah.
care what or how I'm saying it. I need you to absorb what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
and see that's the old school parenting that I'm talking about. The cuz part was the new school parenting, okay? Because my hey, my parents did never call me cuz. They might have called me a lot of other things, but they never called me cuz.
I
Okay,
told
so
you
let's
you
just
gotta
start
talk to them
there.
like they gang members. They don't understand nothing else.
Yeah, and
For
I mean,
real.
I agree. You can't treat every kid the same, but think about how many ass whoopings we really got in life, and how
Yeah.
much shit we
Man,
were still doing because it didn't matter how many whoopings I got. I was still gonna do what I wanted to do. So was it
Yeah.
for
really
real.
hurting? If you think about it, we was just being sneaky about it then, because now I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna get a whooping, so I'm gonna sneak and do it.
Yep.
See, I
And the
stopped
crazy part
caring. Like,
is like
go
the
ahead, brother.
crazy part is I mean, it still don't. These kids still don't absorb that when you try to beat it into them. And like my 5 year old, he's stronger than me, so I just gave up on it for real. So he just do whatever he want to do, I guess.
Hey, Lacey said, I wanna address her comment. She said, I have to bang on my kids too, laughing my ass off. Gentle parenting does not work around here.
Right.
So
You do have those
do you,
kids.
but wait, I have a question. I have a real genuine question because I've heard that several times. And for me, like, I'm a gentle parent for the most part. Like, I do yell at my son. I have whooped him in the past. He has got some
There we
whoopings, okay?
go.
Let's not say that he hasn't.
She's
But
with
I
their
feel
gentle
like
the last 3 years.
I feel like, girl, I feel like the consequence has to match the actions. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not just gonna whoop you for anything. You got to do something like really crazy to get a butt whooping
yeah,
around here.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so my question to Lacey is do you think gentle parenting doesn't work because your kids were conditioned from a young age for it not to work? Like, were you in your old school parent era back then, and now you want to be a gentle parent and you can't because they're already conditioned to not be gentle kids?
Yeah.
Uh, that's a
That's a
good
raw
question,
question.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really want to
for
know
sure.
because I hear a lot of people say, well, you can't gentle parent my kids. Well, is that because you weren't gentle parenting as they were little kids? Or so you condition them to think like I'm gonna take this whooping right quick and go on about my business, because that's how we looked at it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get this whooping and go on
Yeah.
about my business. Thank
Yeah.
you for the stars, baby sister.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. We appreciate that. Y'all too.
Definitely. Thank you.
I want you to know that support is absolutely free. If you guys want to share us out publicly to your page and tag people in the comments to get them here to join in on this conversation, we would love for them to come and talk about their parenting styles and why that works for them. Lacey, I still ain't seen no answer to your question, girl, so I'm just gonna assume you typing right now.
I will say this though. I was a bad kid. So about 93% of them whoopings I got, I probably deserved it for real. Like,
Yeah.
I gave my mom the blues. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And that's just cause that shit wasn't effective for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I had a hard head and even harder ass, so it didn't even make a difference really. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
learned a lot from it as I got older,
Yeah.
and kind of learned what not to do when it came to my kids. Now, according to my oldest, I used to stomp her out for no reason, and I'm telling you, she's not telling the truth. I never
Well, if
stomped
you're
her out.
calling your
Now,
kids cuz, I don't doubt it.
hey, nah, listen.
I'm just
We
saying, if
kind of,
you cousin the
her and I
kids,
kind
I
of
don't
grew up
know.
together, so it was a little bit different. Like I felt like I had to put hands and feet on her, but she turned out okay. She's a child. Well, maybe that's why she's a child psychiatrist. But anyways,
Yeah.
Some
Thank
more
y'all
stuff
for
has
the
been
stars.
revealed.
right?
Thank y'all for the stars. Bree sent 1,000 stars and
Thank
then
you, you
200
guys.
stars.
Thank
Thank you.
you
We love y'all.
Oh,
for
Lacey
real.
answered me. Hold up. Let me go to
Okay,
Lacey.
go ahead
Okay.
and let's read it.
Oh,
So then we're going to address. Jose says, my voice is my weapon, and sometimes I'm not proud of it, but sometimes I try to be nice 3 times before I switch. We'll address that. And then Aaron says the biggest dynamic to address is a 2-parent household versus single parent household.
Woo! Oh
yeah,
yeah,
We're going to talk about
definitely.
that, Aaron. That's very
yeah,
Yep.
good. But
yeah.
Lacey answered me. She said, no, they're just thugs. LOL. I'm a big softie. I yell at them more than they actually get whoopings. I actually get told that that's why I can't be gentle parent, because I don't put action behind my words. Yeah. Now, and let me clear this up. So let me explain to y'all. Gentle parenting for me is I'm gonna follow up on my threats, okay?
Yeah.
But it didn't have to be putting my hands and feet on him, as Rolo would say. It was more like you're 4 years old, you're gonna stand in timeout for 4 minutes, or you're gonna do wall sits until you can't stand there no more. Like, we did
Word
other
up.
ways of punishment than
Right.
hands and feet all the time, because when he got them hands and them feet, he was terrified because he didn't get them very often. And
Yeah.
so still to this day, Trey Sy is terrified of whoopings. He knows if I yell to the point where I got to buck up on him like I'm going to give him these 1-2s, he's like, I don't want that. What I got to do to get out of this? So,
Right.
Yeah,
I
And see,
mean,
I want my kids to respect me, not fear me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I feel like when you beat the hell out of your kids or put hands and feet on them, it's more fear than it is respect. So I had to quit
right.
doing that. You know what I mean? But hey, don't push me to that, because I still do it. I need them to understand that. I try not to, but so you have to stay within the bounds I set for you. If you don't, hey, you gotta pay the price.
Yeah. For the most part, I have a 3-strike rule. And I'm in the middle because
Yeah.
I will say I got a 3-strike rule now. They know the old parent me. The old parent me will go 0 to 1,000,000 real quick. You know,
I was
I
gonna
will.
say, because that old one, them 3 strikes, she's gonna strike you 3 times, in the fourth
Yeah.
one you laid out on the floor.
But see, once again, like I said, that's how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? My mama, there was 4 boys, 1 girl. She couldn't be soft. You know what I'm saying? She was tough all the time, even with me. There was no account that I was a girl. I got treated like the boys when it was time. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like those are the habits that I took into my parenting until I realized, because having 4 kids, I got 2 for 2. I have 2 they're not going. Like Ashley said, I got 2 like Trey Sy that as soon as I buck up at them, they're like, yep, whatever mama need, we gonna get it done. Then I
Yeah.
got 2 that like to test my gangster. My 2 Virgos. Woo-hoo! Boy, They teach me patience. They have taught me patience. They've taught me what unconditional real love looks like. Because if it was an adult, oh, they would have got hands, feet, elbows, knees, headbutt. Like,
Oh, they getting it. They
they
getting
would
all
have
of it
got
for
the
sure.
work. But with that being said, I had to realize, like I said earlier, like every kid, you can't treat them the same way, because I had to learn how to do different things with those children. Like, cause yeah, whooping on them got tired for me, especially a boy. Boys be hard headed more than girls. And it's just a different type of discipline when you trying to do it physically. And then my one son is bigger than me. The other one's almost my size. So it's like, I'm not about to be boxing with people my size. That's too much. So for me, it was just learning other things. Like I've learned to tone down verbally, because y'all know when we get to cussing at our kids too much, that's a form of verbal abuse, because I used to cuss a kid out too back in the day. But I've had to learn how to really switch up. So now I take things, I give them 3 warnings, and then yeah, I follow suit after that third one. Now I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna take accountability. Prince gets a little more than 3, but he's still
Yeah. Prince gets way more than 3,
he
okay?
gets a
Let's
little more
let's
than 3. But that's because that's the baby, y'all.
See, that's what I'm
girl.
saying.
Shalonda didn't just go into new parent age with Prince. She went into soft girl, new parent.
No,
You
because
run this
see,
house with
he
Prince.
is different, y'all. He is different. That little boy knows how to articulate every single feeling and emotion that he's feeling. So when you have a little one that comes up to you like, you know what? I'm sorry I did this, but you whooped me and it hurt my feelings and I love you, but I'm just so hurt. You know, it reaches you and it's like, oh, you know what? Okay.
No, it don't. Because I'd be like, do what you did, and I'm gonna do it again.
But I still do that. But see, Prince learns fast. That's the good part. He learns fast. So we don't have those repeat offenders unless it comes to cleaning.
Hey, I just got snatched up the other day by my 2-year-old. So I mean, I ain't really got much to say.
And I mean, she snatched him up
Yeah,
by his shirt. Do
she
you hear
snatched
me?
me up on my shirt and started putting hands on me. So
I answered the phone and I was terrified for him. I said, "What is
He's
going
so
on over
silly.
there?"
yo, she a thug in real life for real. I need y'all to know.
Uh-huh.
Like, yo,
So
she
let's
ain't.
talk about Aaron's comment, because I do want to
Okay.
address that. Because Shalonda, you were raised well.
Somewhat, because I will say I have 2 parents. My parents are together. But my father spent a lot of time in prison. And the crazy thing is, I'm gonna give my daddy that raised me his props, because even though he was away, he still ran that household. I mean, there were times to where he would call on the phone and be like, put the kid on the phone. You know? And
Yeah,
we would like we would straighten up for the most part hearing dad's, voice. So even though there were times that he wasn't there physically, I give him his credit. He still did what he did as a man, stand up,
yep.
you know. So yeah, it is a big difference though when he's not around at all, I will say that.
Jose says, "Rolo, speak up. We can't hear you."
I
Oh.
got you, Jose.
Rolo, listen. So me and Rolo and Shalonda are on the phone probably about 8 hours a day these days. And I'm telling you, Rolo is not quiet on the phone. Okay. He's actually quite annoying. Here, well, just this last week, it's usually me. It's usually me that they're irritated with, but here this last week, Rolo's been on some different. I don't know what he got going on, but um, so I would say for Aaron, like me responding to the 2-parent household, I wouldn't be able to say that for me because I wasn't raised in a 2-parent household. But I can say that I raised my son single until he was 8 years old, and from 8 to 12, he's been in a 2-parent household. And when I first got with my husband, he was soft. I'm not gonna lie, because he was raised by all women. We don't have any men in our family, so the only men that we have in our family on my mom's side, which that's the closest side, it's always going to be the closest side. It's going to be my big brother, which that's a whole nother story. And then my little cousin Darren. Other than that, our family is nothing but women. Okay. And so when I got with my husband, he was like, "Oh no, he's soft. He's soft, bro. We can't do this."
Yeah.
And I'm soft. And so in the beginning, I used to get offended because like the way he would parent was not gentle at all. Like he was on his ass. And I'd be like, maybe we can just talk to him. and we had all of his kids too. So we had all 6 kids in one house. And the way he parents his kids is totally old school way. We whooping before we talking. We ain't talking afterwards. You gonna be quiet if I say be quiet. Like, ain't no timeouts, ain't no none of that. Like it's hands and feet, cuz. Okay,
Yeah, for real.
hands and
Nah,
feet,
that's
cuz
real.
before
That's how
anything. And
dads be
so
parenting.
me and my son, like I said, for 8 years, it was just me and him. And then for him to bring all his kids and us to all move into one house together, and how my son seeing him parenting his kids, I know my husband, my son was like, oh shit, what's going on? You know,
Mhm.
but eventually, I finally kind of stepped back because he's been in his life for a very long time. He does call him dad. He is the only father figure that he's ever had. And so now, when he be on his ass, I let him do it. And I can see the difference in my son. Like he's totally different now. Like he's a straight up boy turning into a man. And I
Yeah.
give big props to my husband because he's really poured a lot of that into him because he was soft, bro. Now at school, let a kid pick on my son. He gonna swing first. He ain't asking no questions.
See,
Yeah.
nowadays though, a lot of kids don't get that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's why they be running around here like heathens now because they don't have anybody that's on their head trying to lead them in the right direction. You know what I mean? When we were growing up, we had older people around us trying to tell us not to do these things, but a lot of these young boys, especially these young boys, they don't have that guidance. Now they
Yeah.
OGs is 16. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. So me being a father and me growing up out here in these streets, man, there's a lot of stuff I don't want my boys doing. So yeah, I come down on them hard, but it's out of love. You know what I'm saying? Not fear and not trying to be rough or any of that. It's just pure love, man. I don't want you to go down that direction. Like I
Right.
feel like I went through everything I went through so you didn't have to because I
Right.
can teach you not to do these things. You know what I'm saying? But I do got
Mhm.
one son who just thinks he's the biggest gangster in the world, and boy, just calm down. Like, you know what I'm saying? For,
Yeah,
for real. But
yeah.
he's a good
Yeah.
kid. He's smart, but I don't know what it is. He just wants to be a YN so damn bad, and I just don't understand it.
It's the
You know?
generation. It's the
It,
generation. And what's crazy these days is being a YN these days, like it's nothing. Like when we was kids, we was out thugging with the whole neighborhood. We had fun. These kids these days, they want to go outside and do each other in and they
but
don't
I
want to
will
catch no fades or no none of
Yeah.
that.
There's no
I
sense of
will
loyalty
add in.
amongst any of them anymore. You know
No,
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there
But I
no.
will
is.
add in, you
So,
guys, and we got to keep this in there, like, and it is what it is at the end of the day. But I feel like when it comes to what's really missing with,
Tawanda's
especially
frozen. There
huh?
she goes.
there you
Tawanda's
go.
frozen.
Oh, I went out. Okay. But I feel like what's really missing, especially with our young males, is that you got to think about it. Our generation, for some odd reason, a lot of the men took a curve and they went the opposite way. See, back when we were growing up, you had more males to correct you, like, nah, young brother, go home. Nah, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
had
for
you had
real.
uncles, you had cousins, you had even the homie in the street was like, nah, you a square, you're not about that
Period.
life, go home. But
Mm,
nowadays, you don't really have that. And it's like you don't even have the males that's around to be like, no, straighten yourself up. And then,
Yeah.
you got the women listening to Sexy Red. So it's like that it's changed. And then I feel like when
get
it
it
comes to the single
sexy.
household, huh?
I said,
Get
get
it
it
sexy.
You're
sexy.
so stupid. But no, when it
Shit.
comes to the single household, I feel like a lot of these kids are losing respect for the mothers. And it is what it is. Like as a woman, especially if you out here raising sons, nowadays it's harder to keep that respect. You know what I'm saying? Because you can hoop and holler and try to check your son all day long. But when your son is going out here kicking it with all these YNs, and then the uncles is like you said, young, telling, yeah, come on, boy, let's do this. It's like they lose respect for the moms
Hey,
because
I'm
I
gonna
would
tell you
say,
like this is I
uh,
ain't gonna be scared of no boy who got his mama's pants on. Them pants be tight as hell. How you gonna try to tell me anything with them damn pants on?
Listen,
I
Boy, ain't nobody
if you
worried
gotta
about you.
fight your leg to get your pants on, I can't take you
Bro,
serious, bruh.
if you fart, you gotta push it down your pant leg. I'm not worried about nothing you talking about, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Like, go
I
sit
dig
down
it.
somewhere.
I dig it, but that doesn't excuse what they putting the mamas through. And then it really bothers
Man,
me when you see all these kids messing up, and then the first thing people yell is, "Oh, they mama ain't doing something right. They mama ain't doing something
I
right."
don't
Why
understand
you put
that.
everything on the mama?
Yeah, I don't understand
You
that.
know what
And
I'm saying?
I
Because the mama
because
was forced to do what she had to do. Like,
right.
and
why is it all on the mama?
I feel like a lot of that has to do with because as the mother, you are looked at as the primary parent, whether there's a father in the house or not. And I'll say
Yeah.
this, my son right now today, I'll be at work and his dad will be right here in the house and he will call me at work to ask me where his phone charger is. Where's your dad? He's right here. Well, why don't you ask him? He tells me
Yeah.
because you're more reliable. If you don't get off my phone and go ask your father, so even in the household, we're the primary parent. So
Yes.
that's why it's always the mom's fault. Whether there's a mother and father, we are the primary parent. It is what it is. They're wanting to know like why she ain't doing her job, why is she not doing. And you know what's crazy is people don't even look at nowadays. There's a lot of men out here that are the primary parent. Hey,
Yeah.
and if you're out here a single father taking care of your kids because you went to court and got your
Yeah.
babies or
Salute
however
to
you got
you,
them,
man.
I
Yeah.
salute you.
For
Salute.
sure.
Okay, because back in
Hell
the
yeah.
day, you didn't hear that. I hear so many
Yeah.
fathers these days that are out here rocking with their kids, going to court to get custody,
For real.
joint custody. They're out here fighting for
Yeah.
their kids. It's not like it used to be. It
Yeah.
used to be, she don't want me to see my kids. I guess I ain't gonna see my kids today. Nah,
Fact.
they ain't going out like that. I see
Yeah.
y'all. I see y'all.
Hey, for real though. And like you said, I don't really understand why a lot of people blame the mom. But I mean, in a certain sense, I kind of do because I mean, there is a lot of young women out here growing up or raising kids on their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So of course, more people are like, "Your mama ain't doing something." But listen, there's only so much a mama can do. You know what I mean? Especially if she has other kids, she can't just focus on one. She can't, no matter what she. I'm 100% positive. Most of these women out here raising their kids on their own don't want their kids out here doing this, that, and
Right.
that, and the other. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like there's only so much she can do,
Yeah.
especially if the father ain't around. And in some
Yeah,
instances, it's because they don't want the father around. But
Yeah.
as
yeah.
a man,
Hey,
I
that
feel
blows
like
my mind.
yeah,
That
Mine.
and
blows
as a
my
man, I
mind.
feel like, bro, listen, she may not want you around, but it is your duty
Yep.
to raise your child. Like for real, I don't care about nothing else.
Hey, but
If
you know what though,
anything, it is your
Rolo?
duty.
Hold on. Let me speak to that. And we're gonna get back on the topic of old school parenting versus new school parenting because we didn't kind of went on a tangent, but that's cool. But listen, I will say this. I done been with some men that got kids that if I was their baby daddy, I wouldn't want to deal with them neither because they are
Yeah,
bananas. Okay. Some of
yeah,
these females are crazy as hell out here these days,
Yeah.
and I don't even care. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to deal with them neither. Keep them. You don't
Yeah.
want me to see them,
you're
keep
right.
them. And I think it
I
gets to that
agree.
point with some men to where it's like, who wants to go through that? Why do
Yeah.
I have to go through the police and everything else every time I want to see my kids, or I gotta beat you up physically because you
Yeah.
want to fight because I want to see my child? No, ain't nobody gonna keep going through
And
that.
see, I didn't want to say that because I didn't want people to think I'm sexist or you know what I'm saying,
No, but
like
that's a
a
fact.
woman hater.
You
But
can't.
yeah,
That's
it
a fact,
is. It
though.
is. It is.
Oh
And
no, I see it.
it's a sad truth, but that's how it is. And it seems to be way more prevalent now than ever for real.
But
Like,
that's because the moms are listening to Sexy Red and they talking about forget they baby daddy. And then you got the young girls like forget my baby daddy. I mean, it's all a part of a bigger
but
program. But
a
hey, that's
lot of
another
these young
conversation.
women though, they be missing their blessings because nowadays you gotta pay for attention from any damn body. You can't just try to holler at nobody. Now they're like, oh, you can't even talk to me unless you put money in my cash app. Like, I'm not
That's,
putting no damn money in your cash app to have a conversation. What is wrong with you? You know what I'm
that's a whole
saying?
nother conversation, bro.
Hey,
But you see what I'm saying though? Like that
I
shit is
will say
wild to
though,
me.
it was a lot safer back in the day for us as kids because my mom was a single mom, but she had a village. Okay.
For
And
real.
and this is one part of the old school parenting that I do agree with and that
Yeah.
I do practice in my household in my life with my child is we're a village. So
Yeah.
just like if you
Yep.
send your kids to my house, just know if they're at my house and my son's getting a whooping for acting up, your child probably gonna get a whooping too. Okay.
No, they
And if
gonna
I
get a
catch
whooping.
your child out in the streets doing some stuff they ain't had
Yeah.
no business, they gonna get a whooping, just like if they was mine. And then I'm gonna bring them to your house and tell you your child was out in the street acting a fool. That's just
Yeah.
like I
Yep.
seen this video on Facebook the other day. Y'all, this little boy ran up on this teacher. This teacher gave him the 1-2 real quick, bat bat. And it was an uproar in the comments like, oh, he hit that child. That child needs
Right.
to sit the hell down then. Okay. If you don't want your child to get knocked down like a grown man, he needs to stop running up on a grown man. And I know that y'all might feel some type of way. Ain't nobody putting their hands on my kids. Da, 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 da. Well, these kids need to stop putting themselves in
Nope.
adult situations because ain't no way.
Yeah.
When I was that age, I'm not gonna run up on no adult like I'm grown. No way.
That
So
thought
that's
never
one part
crossed
of
my
old school
mind.
parenting that I totally agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
hell
the
yeah.
kid run up on me, you're going to get done up right where you ran
For
up.
real. Hey, and
Yeah.
like our whole neighborhood knew who we was.
Yep.
So they
Yeah,
see
because
you
you couldn't
acting
even do
up, boy,
nothing like
you in
that
trouble.
anyway.
Hell
Yep.
yeah, like you in trouble. We ain't gonna play that. And I love that aspect of parenting. You know what I'm saying? Where parents see your kids doing something and they be like, "Hey, come on now, you know better than that." You know what I'm saying? Like you know damn well you wouldn't be acting like that if your moms or somebody was out
Right.
here. You know what I'm saying? Like I do like that for real, for real. And that I feel like that's how it should be more these days. But people just don't have the time. They have the time. They just don't have the want to deal with
Right.
other people's kids. You know what I mean? And that's sad because this is the future we talking about here. You know what I mean? And if none of us are willing to take the time out to teach them, they ain't gonna know no better. That's why they eat Tide Pods and be snorting condoms because ain't nobody ever taught them not to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, quit doing that. For real. Teach
Right.
your kids to quit doing that shit.
And they do like the
They do.
craziest things, and they do it on the internet. And where are their
That's
parents
wild.
at?
Right.
Y'all, I
That's so
seen this little
crazy.
girl. So my son's name is Trey Saya, and I just knew he was the only kid in the world that had that name. So I was Googling his name the other day just to see if it was anybody else named Trey Saya in the world, right? And it's this little girl on YouTube named Trey Saya. It's spelled the exact same way as his, little pretty girl. She is on YouTube in a bra and some panties. And you can see her mama walk past in the background with her other, and y'all don't go look for this girl, okay? Don't be nosy now. I'm just telling you. And I was like, where is her mama? Like, what is she doing? She don't see this little girl standing in the mirror on YouTube recording herself on the phone and some little bra and some panties. Like, what do we got going on
Right.
here? When we was
Nick,
kids, we wasn't gonna get away with that because if that wasn't her mama in the video, it was her auntie or somebody, and we would have got snatched back by whoever that adult was. We would have
hell
got
yeah.
snatched back. Okay, because them old school parents, that's one thing I can say, they didn't play that, and they don't care
Yeah.
No,
whose child you are. They don't play that.
you would have saw the dresser and the camera fall over. I ain't
Right.
playing. It
But
would
see,
have been.
that's why
I'm
I
not
say
even playing.
you need balance. That's why it
For
takes
real.
balance because we can all, I feel like for the most part, all three of us can agree that there's some old school ways that were very beneficial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But then
definitely.
that stuff that caused all the trauma, that's what we kind of left alone.
I
Like, you know,
know.
like that's the thing. Like, it really does take balance. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
I'm
no
talking about the
balance for
kids,
literally.
us.
y'all. Talking about the
If,
kids.
if there was no balance for us, though. It was full speed ahead.
So
Yeah.
we
For real.
folding the children. That's what we doing. We folding the children. We folding the children. Her got it.
Oh, human
Let me write
pretzel
that
real
down.
quick.
Hey, I'm
Let
not
me,
even
let me
playing.
write that down. Folding the children. I got it.
Hey, no,
Okay.
for real. There was no in between with us. Like I said, it was full steam ahead. They
Yeah.
pulled out all the stops when it came to us. They was
Yeah.
not doing no faking. But then that's when we came along and tried to change the narrative. There's some aspects of how we were raised that we wanted to keep, but there's other aspects that we like, yeah, we ain't doing all that.
And
Like
y'all, we couldn't even
I
breathe
will never
hard.
whoop my son with a garden hose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's abuse,
I'm
Rolo.
not gonna do that. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying? I'm not gonna pick up a stick and swack him across his ass with it. That's crazy. You know what I'm
Hey,
hey,
saying?
Shannon said these kids today get their electronics taken away for punishment. I don't understand that. I'm taking their breath away. See, that's the old school. That's that old school parenting. Let me tell you something. Taking electronics away works. Okay, it
For
works.
real.
y'all know what
Okay,
I
I
do?
took.
I shut the whole internet down, the whole
Period.
router.
Oh, hey, that'll
Shut it
cause
down.
uproar immediately. Okay,
Yeah.
that'll cause the uproar. Hey, what's crazy is not just the kids will come. Everybody who live in that house gonna come. Like, hey, what's going on with the
Yes.
internet?
Yep.
Like, you have phone service. What do you need the internet for? Your
For
internet still
real.
works.
Like it
Yes.
moves slow. That's why.
Listen. I took Trey Sia's PlayStation. So last year he had bad grades at the end of the school year. Y'all know that's one thing. Old school parenting. I do not play about. You got two jobs. Keep your room clean and get good grades. Them the only two. If you can't do them two things, you ain't gonna have nothing in life. Okay.
At all.
So this boy had bad grades at the end of the school year. He knows I don't play that. You're going into the summer, buddy. You just played yourself. So I took all of the electronics away. Phone, VR, PlayStation. He can't have none of that no more, right? I come home from work. This boy has a chair pulled in front of. We had like this built-in shelf in our living room. He has a chair pulled in front of this with a bleach spray in one hand and a towel in the other. I said, "Son, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm cleaning, Mom." Boy, if you don't get your ass down off that chair, because you ain't tried to clean up nothing all year, so you didn't have nothing. But I'm telling you, taking them electronics away, hey, they work.
He ain't had nothing else to do.
For real.
Keisha said, "I'll change the Wi-Fi password so fast."
Hey, Keisha, I done did that too. I done changed the Wi-Fi password, and it resets every device in the house.
See, I'm not doing all that. I'm just gonna take
everybody off everything.
No, I'm not doing all that. I'm just listening. I'm taking everything. You won't have nothing around here, okay? But Trey Sia, he's been an only child his whole life, so he'll go outside and make a whole adventure with sticks. He don't care. He don't. I don't know. He gonna figure it out.
Hey, that's real though. But see, nowadays punishment for kids is making them go outside.
Yeah,
that's punishment for them. Punishment for us was staying inside. Like I did not want to stay in the damn house.
I didn't.
Like
I
did not want to stay in the house with y'all. Like, I want to
Hey,
go outside.
on the weekends, we know we better be up and out that house before she get up, because if she wake up before us and we are still in that house, baby, we ain't going outside. It's time to clean up. When them slow jams come on and you see her jamming around the house with that broom, baby, it's time to get to cleaning. Yep. We're out the house and you ain't gonna see us until the street lights come on, when it's time to get in the shower and go to bed.
No, that's
we couldn't even be in the house. I mean, we had to clean up first before we could do anything. So for me, I knew for a fact I didn't want to be at home, didn't want to be dealing with nobody's BS. So I would get up, clean up, do everything I need to do, make sure my brothers was straight, everything would be straight, and I'm gone. Like, and I tell my kids that, like, y'all must want to hear my mouth. See, I didn't even want to hear my mom's mouth. I did everything I needed to do to get out of her face because I didn't want to hear it.
Hey, we didn't want to hear our mama so bad that we would drink out the water hose before we had
for real before you come in.
Listen, we didn't even have the luxury of going back in the house, because once you go out that house too many times, baby, don't you come back in this house. My mama used to lock the doors, and don't let her soap operas come on and we be knocking on the door. She might snatch you by your hair in that front door, like, "What do you want?" I guess it's for the game. Okay.
Yo, that's real. That's real. That's how it was for us. Like, hey, that running in and out, we ain't doing all that.
Ain't doing that. You locked out all day.
There's a water hose outside. You better take a drink and go on about your business, because you come back in here, you in here.
And if you got to use a bathroom, you better walk to the quick shop or somewhere else, because you ain't coming in. If you come in, you're staying in.
Well, see, for me, that was all right, because I could just go off behind the bush or something. For y'all, it's a little bit different.
Please, I went behind the bush.
That's crazy.
Do you hear me? Because I wasn't going back in that house.
I wasn't going.
Not only
I wasn't going back in that house.
That's wildly inappropriate. No.
Hey, Lord said, God said, don't spare the rod. Well, listen, I just feel like as a parent, you don't have to beat your kids all the time. Sometimes, I don't know, like I said, old school parents, I feel like, we didn't have a conversation. I feel like they didn't even really look at us like we was intelligent enough to have a conversation. They just felt like you're a kid, so go be a kid, and I don't care what you're talking about. And so for me, like, that just ain't right. That just ain't right to me. I want to hear what my son has to say sometimes. I want to see like what he's thinking. Like, why are you thinking like that? And I guess, like you guys say, that's that soft parenting, whatever you want to call it. But hey, I don't know.
They didn't even take consideration for nothing back in the day. Like, there was no consideration that you have feelings, you're growing, you're hormonal, you probably had a bad day at school. Like, old school parenting, the part that I really don't agree with is literally how they didn't see nothing else but what they wanted, what they needed, what they saw was right. Like, sometimes at the end of the day, parents, and I'm going to say this, you're not always right. You're
No,
not always right.
no.
Even as a mother, when my kids correct me, I don't get mad and pop them in the mouth and tell them go sit down. I stop. And it depends on how they correct me. Because, if a child could be disrespectful, I get that. But I feel like they're little humans too. So it's like, if you can say something, back your statement up, and you actually, know what you're talking about, I'm going to give you that. I've told my kids a few times, you know what, you're right. My bad. I was wrong. But that the old school parenting, they didn't have none of that. Like, your parent could be dead wrong, knowing they wrong. Like, Mom, how do you spell queen? Quean. Like, Mom, that's not the right way. Pow, shut up. Like, whoa, hold on. I'm
That's the way I told
You
you it
just
is. So
got
that's
a
how it
1,
is.
2, and they know they lying.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So,
You know you lying, bro.
yeah, and that would be the thing back in the day. Like, dang, like, Mom, you didn't even spell the word right. Like, shut up, I was right. Like, whoa.
No, it's crazy because we as parents, we really do always want to be right. But the fact of the matter is,
No, when you
we're
wrong,
just
you gotta take
not.
that L and
You
just be
gotta take
wrong.
it. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
humbling.
You really
It's
do.
humbling. And it makes me feel good as a parent, to be for real. And this is me. Everybody's not the same. But to
We
know
know.
that one of my kids have one up me and they were actually right, it makes me feel good about the adults that they're going to be. Hey, you're going to know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's pushing it.
For me, that's why I said for me, that's what it makes me feel, because Prince and Shauna, those two kids, they always, I ain't gonna lie, they be making me feel crazy a lot, because them kids, they be making them points. I'm like, you know what? Okay. Like my daughter Shauna, she's 16, about to be 17. Y'all, for those of y'all that don't know, I have a bunch of teenagers. But anyways, my child, she
Why you
wanted
keep
to
looking
get
off in the corner?
who?
You.
Because this light is bright, so don't worry
You
about that.
can't
thought
even
you.
Anyway,
tell if she looking off in the corner with them Ray
yeah.
Charles glasses on.
I thought you
Playing,
couldn't
Y'all,
see.
I
I
Rolo.
gotta
thought
keep
you
it
couldn't see the
moving.
damn camera.
I gotta keep it moving. So, anyways, we're gonna stay on topic.
Rolo.
But so
All
I
right.
got a child, y'all, that she wanted a tattoo. And I got my first tattoo when I was 17. So I was like, well, wait till you're 17, we'll talk about it. She turned 16. She does excellent in school, does great. Like in life, she does excellent. So she's like, Mom, can I get a tattoo? Me being me, I said, give me a PowerPoint presentation of the pros and the cons and why you want this tattoo. Hey, y'all, that presentation was so great. I was impressed. I was like, she typed out pros, cons, likes, dislikes. She was so thorough. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to let you do that for your birthday. And I let her get a tattoo.
Yeah, and see, that's the new age parenting, because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we had to sneak off and get tattoos. I got my first tattoo when I was 14. But to be fair, by the time I was 14, 15, I was thugging in the streets already. I was doing my own thing, okay? And so I went to the bootleg tattoo man and had him do my tattoo. And when I went home, I wasn't scared of the consequences, because guess what? I done been whooped so many times, it didn't matter. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm gonna take this L. I still got my tattoo. It is what it is. But the fact that the new age parenting made her bring that to you and make the PowerPoint and everything else, you made her think through that and think like, why is this important to me? Back in the day, it was like, I'm gonna do it regardless because I'm gonna get a whooping, and oh well, I don't care.
Hey, I was scared lifeless when I got my tattoo, but when I came home, and I got my oldest, I got Takia's name on my arm, 17. And when I came home, I was so scared. I was sweating, I was trembling. And my dad, he walked up and he was just like, well, at least it wasn't nothing stupid. And just turned away and walked off and didn't even speak to me the rest of the night. And that was enough for me. I was like, whoo, okay, all right.
I let my oldest daughter get her first tattoo at 16 while she was out in Washington. So I guess you can call that gentle parenting. But she's a good kid though. It was a meaningful tattoo. It's not like it was something stupid, you know what I'm saying? Or I would have been like, absolutely
But
not.
that's
You know
the
what I mean?
thing. Like back in the day, it doesn't matter if it was meaningful or not. You ain't doing it because I said, okay?
Yeah, they
Like
didn't care.
that just is what it is. Now let me to the comments real quick.
We got a lot.
Jaleesa says each kid is different, so you can't use the same punishment or discipline tactics. It has to be catered to the individual child. That's new age parenting thinking. Okay, because back in the day,
Everybody got treated the same.
I'll never forget this ass whooping, okay, y'all. I'm about to tell y'all the best ass whooping I ever got in my life. It was from my dad. Okay, one of the few that he did give me. I was young. Okay, I was probably one of the youngest, other than my little brother, little Michael. My dad was with this lady named Denise, and she had kids, and we took our little brother and all of us out to the woods because we live like by some woods. And we took little Michael out there. He was the youngest. We told him that this house that was not our house was our house. He walked up to the front door and we took off running and left him there. Okay. When we got back to the house, it didn't matter whose idea it was, why it happened, where little they didn't even care where little Michael was.
Everybody.
He lined us up from the tallest
Yep.
to the smallest and tore our ass out the frame. Okay. I'll never forget that whooping. And for me, I was an innocent bystander. I seen the
Yeah.
older kids running, so I'm running too. Where are we going? We get back to the house. I see it's popping off. I'm terrified. Okay. Because I already know what's gonna go down. So we all took that L together because ain't nobody gonna tell. Because that's one thing I can say. When we was kids, we was gonna stick together. We wasn't telling on each other. It
For
is what
real.
it is. We just gonna take this L right quick. When we get in that room, I'm gonna call you all kind of names and stuff like that because you got me messed up. But we're gonna take this L. And we took that L that day, and that was the best ass whooping I'd never gotten. It didn't matter whose fault it was.
Yo, that's how I was raised too, for real.
Yeah.
If one did something, everybody was in trouble. Like I had a friend of mine popped some damn firecrackers in my bedroom, threw a hole in my screen. He threw it in my room, and it popped in my room. My mom came in there. She went outside and snatched his ass up too, and everybody got whooped. So for real,
See, I
like
hated that though. Like that was super traumatizing for me because I was always around boys. So their mischief was way worse than the mischief that I would do on my own. So I would be with my brothers and my cousins and stuff, and they'd be doing crazy stuff. And I mess around and get a whooping with them. Like I used to hate that. Like, I'm a girl.
Yeah. It didn't matter. It didn't matter back then. Everybody was getting whoopings.
for
Everybody
real.
was getting whoopings. Lloyd said, I was joking, but I learned from you that talking to your kids actually works, but that's not how I was raised, so I didn't know. I wasn't born knowing how to discipline my kids. I was learning on the fly, but my wife showed me another way, but my kids caught hell. And they did, y'all. I'm telling you, when he first came into my life, and we had all the kids at the house. When I tell you, I used to be terrified for them kids, okay? Because hey, he used to go crazy. When I tell you, like I mean, and really, he didn't even have to put his hands on them because he was just so verbally crazy for hours at a time. Like this man could go on a tangent for about 4 hours. I'm telling you, we didn't ate dinner, we didn't went in the house. The kids is taking showers, and this man is still just going crazy. Okay. And so for me, I was scared for them. Like, bro, why are you doing that? You know he's gonna get on you. Like, why are you doing that? Just be quiet. And so our middle son, Travion, he's his daddy's son. Let me just say that. They're so much alike. Like anytime we have a family event and these two are together for too long, we know it's gonna pop off. Okay. Travion is the type he's just gonna keep talking. He doesn't care. Like, and he knows Lloyd is half-ass crazy. Like, and I'd be like, son, just stop. Me and L'Oreal, the oldest daughter, be looking at each other like, here they go. Because we know what's going to happen. Okay. And when they go, they go. There's no stop to it. Okay. And Lloyd, like I said, he's that old school parents. When we first got together, like he would go bananas. And I'd be like, Travion. He'd be like, but dad. And I'm like, but son, just be quiet. Just be quiet. What are we talking about right now?
You gotta
Just be
know when.
quiet. You messing up the whole night. It's going to be a whole fight in here. We don't got time for that.
Yeah.
Hey, for real. Hey, I'll be like, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear no explanation. I just don't want to hear it right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm like that with my boys. My girls, I'm a softie, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I can't help it when it comes to my daughters. My sons is a little more it's different. Cause I ain't trying to hear shit they talking about, for real. There's nothing you can say to me is gonna move me in any direction. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Denise says, I was lucky. I just gave the look and they straightened up, or I threatened my son that I would whip him with a wet noodle
Oh,
when he was little and didn't understand that it wouldn't hurt.
she got the different kids.
No, not with a wet noodle. He was
Yeah, hey,
scared.
he was like, hell nah.
Keisha says, thoughts on this generation and respect. I believe you teach
Ooh,
your children respect and then it's earned that these kids nowadays think they should automatically get it.
I'm with that because I tell my kids that all the time. Respect is earned and not given.
Yeah.
But see the flip side, and I'm gonna be real. I feel like personally, I feel like it goes both ways because
Yep.
I've met a lot of disrespectful adults, and then you can't expect a kid to show you respect when when you talk to them crazy. So I feel personally like it goes both ways. Like my kids, you
Yeah.
will respect me, but then in the flip side, you know what I'm saying, I will show you the same respect. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to talk to you like you're a person and not just some little thing in my way, you know? So I feel like it
Yeah.
kind of goes both ways. But these new kids are very disrespectful. I will say that, but I will say from personal experiences, I have witnessed like a lot of kids, we think they're disrespectful, but sometimes they just don't know how to articulate their bad days. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it comes off as anger and aggression and disrespect, but then sometimes they just want to be listened to. So like I say, it's like I believe everything for me, it's always balanced. Like, okay, yes, they are disrespectful, but how many people take their time out to really talk to these kids and find
Right.
out what's going on?
But I feel like too, though, a lot of the kids that are disrespectful these days is because their parents are disrespectful to them.
Yeah.
Like
So they don't know how to
I be
communicate.
hearing some of
Yeah.
these parents, especially these new day mothers, and how they talk to these young men and these young women, like calling them the B word and fat
Yeah.
bees and
I
punk.
don't go for
You know
none
what I
of
mean?
that.
Like they're talking to literally somebody off the streets, and then these
Yeah.
kids grow up and they start talking to you that way. Well, you wonder why you was pouring
Yeah.
that into that child from a young age, and you wonder why, now you're getting that same thing back in return, and they don't respect you or they don't feel like they want to mess with you. But at the end of the day, like that's very much so old school parenting too. Like our parents
Yeah.
were lightweight, heavyweight, disrespectful. Like they used to talk crazy to us because they thought we was ignorant. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then didn't understand like we had to respect them though, or it was
Yeah.
enforced with physical. You know what I
I
mean?
feel
Like
like it
you're
wasn't
gonna
respect
respect
though,
me.
it was fear. It wasn't
Yeah,
respect, it was fear.
very much
So
so. Very
that's
much so.
different. You know what I'm saying? Because think about the stuff that we did. If we ended up becoming more sneaky, more conniving, more,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, more we planned, became more strategic. That's the word I'm looking for. But it's like that's not respect, that's fear. We were afraid of what we would face if we would have, you know what I'm saying, even acted like that or talked like that or whatever.
No, that's a fact though, for real. Like I definitely don't think it was respect. It was fear. Cause, hey, even at almost 40 years old, I'm still scared of my mom. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely think that breeds fear. And like you said, as far as these kids now, they don't know how to communicate because they've never been communicated with properly. So now they don't know how to talk to people. They think everybody's they equal when in fact they aren't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're a child, I'm an adult. You show me respect. And that's what I teach my kids. Hey, if they grown, respect them. But if they being disrespectful, I don't expect you to sit on that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Yeah.
you come get me and I handle it. You feel
Right.
me? Like I'm more like that. Not necessarily. I don't want you to have that sharp tongue, being disrespectful and talking shit to them. But I don't expect you to sit on it and tolerate it either. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like you come get me and I'll handle it because I want to know what's up. And sometimes they don't want to do that because I'm kind of a confrontational person a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
A little
especially with
bit. You call
Right.
your kids cuz. Stop
hey
playing with me.
when it come to my kids, I trip with anybody. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try
Yeah.
not to
And
be
so
like that because sometimes they wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they be out here on some other shit and these people done caught them and tried to check them,
Yeah.
talking about that village. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's why I be trying to hear people out before I start automatically assuming that they just out here picking on my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
So
feel like that's old school parenting because I think my new school parenting ways, I would just go to bat for my son. No matter what the situation was, like I would automatically jump to his side and his aid. And then I had to think like for a minute. And it took honestly, and Lord used to tell me all the time, like, babe, you need to start listening to these folks because it might be some truth to it. And so I really started listening to some of the things like with Trey Sy getting in trouble in school. Everybody knows I moved around quite a bit throughout his life. Like we've been to a lot of different cities and states. So he's been to a couple different schools. He went to one school for quite third through or second through fifth grade. And we kind of bounced back and forth between that school. Like when we was in Kansas, that's the school he would go to.
Right.
But these people had the same issue with him at every school. Okay. And for me, like as his mom, like I'm going to bat for my son. I don't care what you're talking about. And then finally, when we got out here to Texas, the lady called me and she was explaining the exact same behaviors that I've heard over and over and over and over again. And finally, I had to sit my son down and really come to the realization like these folks ain't lying on you.
No.
And I had to tell him, like, son, listen, you're making it hard for me to back you because ain't everybody saying the same thing and it ain't true. And so we really sat down and had a conversation because Trey Sy was bad at shifting the blame on everybody else. Like, oh, well, they did this, but what did you do? And I'm really big on that. Like, accountability is everything. I don't want to hear just what they did. And one thing I can say about Trey Sy is the whoopings that he got in life. If he lied to me, I'm tearing your ass up. Because that's one thing I will not tolerate. I'm not going to tolerate you lying or being sneaky or keeping secrets from me. That's something that I've instilled in him since he was a little child. So if I whoop you for lying, I'm tearing your ass up. And so for me, like me and him, I'll sit him down and be like, son, if you tell me the truth, we can work through it. We can talk through it. But if you lie to me, I'm going to tear your ass up and we ain't got nothing else to talk about. And so Trey Sy is going to tell me the truth. He's going to run it to me, but it might take me threatening him before he gives me what's really going on. So when we got down here and we got to talking, I'm like, son, it's time for you to take a step back and really look at yourself. Because ain't everybody saying the same thing. You got me out here looking crazy, going back and forth with these teachers, and you out here acting stupid. Like, no, that shit's over with. So if you want me to back you, you're going to have to get out here and act like you got parents at home. Because not only do you have one good parent, but you have two good parents that care about you and they hear for you and will go to bat for you if you're right. But when you're wrong, you're dead ass wrong. Period.
And like I tell my kids that shit too.
What'd you say, Rolo?
I said I tell my kids that same thing because it's not just you that you're making look like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're a reflection of me. So if they see you acting crazy, they're gonna automatically assume it's because you ain't had no damn home training.
Yep.
Even though that may not be the case. In most situations it's not. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we're great parents, but what we can't always control what our kids do. You know what I mean? But you are a reflection of me. So when you go to school, you act like you got some damn sense. And don't be having these people up here calling me all the time with all this shit that you got going on in school. Like, you got one job. That's go to school and act like you got some damn sense and do your work. If you can't do that, then we definitely got a problem. And I'm gonna go buy some boxing gloves and we gonna solve it.
Hands and feet. Hands and feet. And you know, it's crazy. Trey Sy is starting to get to the point where he's a little bit bigger than me. So, you know, I'm kind of glad that we've built a bond where we can have a conversation because, you know, if he ever bucks up to me, I mean, you know, one part of old school parenting I do believe in is I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. And you know, as big as he is right now, because my mom used to tell me that all the time, and I didn't understand back then exactly what she meant. Like, you gonna take me out? What does that mean? You know, like you're really gonna do me like that? Like I was terrified because I really thought this lady was gonna do me in if I did some crazy stuff. So now looking at my son, huh?
I said I really felt like she was not playing with you.
I felt like they wasn't playing when they used to say that too. Like, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. I want everybody to just sit and think about that for a minute.
That is a death threat. All right.
I want you to think of old school parents on here. All the old school parents on here. I want everybody to just take a moment of silence and I want you to think about, I brought you in this world, I will take you out. Moment of silence.
Think about it. Think about it.
Like, that's the kind of threats that we got when we was kids. Now, old school parents, I need y'all to come. I need you guys to come through in this chat. Old school parents only. I don't want to hear from the new school parents. I want to hear from the old school parents in the chat. You will take us out because you brought us in.
No, here's the threat that I heard all the time. My mom didn't necessarily say that one, but hers was, I'll knock you into the middle of next week. You'd be like, You're gonna
Girl,
knock us into next week.
I don't even want to see. Listen, I don't even want to wake up tomorrow and go to school. You want me to go to next week?
I want to
Like,
know what's so significant about Wednesday that they want to knock you all the way to that point.
right? Like,
What does this mean?
that was that was hers. That was hers. That was hers.
And
I'm
was
gonna
they
knock
gonna
you in
be
the
there
middle of
when we
next
got
week.
there? That's the real question. So when you knock
Yeah,
me in
for
next
real.
week, is you gonna meet me there,
Right.
or what
I'm
we
telling
doing?
you. Like, I hope you stay here just in case something happens. So,
Right.
like, for real.
And they about to knock you into astral
My mom was really
projection.
about that life though. Like, my mom, like growing up, she was a gangbanger. Like, so she said, I brought you in, I'll take you out. I took that shit literal. So
Yeah.
I try not to get on her bad side. You know what I mean?
Aaron said, "Best threat ever. I made. I'll remove you." See, that is not the best threat ever, Aaron. That is not AJ.
Aaron
Listen,
is a
AJ.
special one. Look,
Yo,
AJ, that is not the best threat ever. I want to hear from these
it's
other
not
old school parents that was in here loud and proud in the beginning talking about, I'm an old school parent. I need to understand.
right.
he
There
said
were
he gonna
real threats
assassinate
going
his kid.
on. You were terrified to go to sleep at night, thinking that we might not get up tomorrow because y'all was playing mental games. And that's okay.
You just never know.
Yeah.
For real.
That is
People
not
don't
okay.
understand. That's why when I say I'm glad to see today, boy, they just don't understand. Cause hey, at
The
any
thing about
moment
it is,
they could have took us out.
yeah, and the thing about it is, we was going outside having fun playing, and we were scared to go back in the house. These days, they scared to
Yeah.
go outside, and they got to
Hell
stay
yeah.
in the house. They'd rather be in the house. Total opposite. Like we wanted to be outside. I was terrified to go home. Okay,
Well, I
I
understand them
knew
being scared to go outside nowadays. Out there is a dangerous place.
It was
You know what
dangerous
I'm saying?
back then.
Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna
it was
say this, and
most dangerous
I
in the
hope
house.
nobody gets offended by what I'm about to say, but we wasn't retarded. You know what I'm saying? We knew when shit was about to get bad, so we tried to stay out of the way. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we were knowledgeable enough to know that these certain situations you shouldn't be in. If you see something going down, you need to move around. You know what I mean?
I don't necessarily agree with that just from personal experience because myself and my brothers included, we found ourselves in situations that no kid should have ever been in. We seen things that no kid should have never seen. So, with that being said, it's like, how safe were we outside?
Okay, but listen, with that in mind, with what you just said in mind, you would rather be outside. What does that say? Let's be real.
I laugh in the face of danger.
No, for real. Like we wasn't scared though because we were
Yeah.
already exposed to that. They are not exposed to the same world we were.
Hey,
The
I got a
world
kid that
now,
ain't exposed to that, but he runs towards danger too. So it's
listen, we
Listen,
live in a totally different world.
I
Uh
don't care what y'all talking about. When we was kids, like it was danger outside, but it wasn't like it is today. We can go outside and be gone all the way until nighttime. And we was
yeah.
having the time of our life.
but we
Okay.
also didn't think in the back of our mind that somebody gonna snatch us either. You know what I'm
No, that
saying?
wasn't even
Like
a worry
that
or
wasn't
care
even
in the
something we even
world.
thought about. Yeah, but nowadays they have to think about it because it happens all the damn time.
Lloyd said, when the parents quiet with the cigarette at the end of their lips, you know you about to die.
That was that one. No, that was that one for real. Just standing there with the cigarette.
Yeah, yeah, you about to
I
die.
love Lord.
Yeah, you about to die, period. And
Said
that's
it's
what I'm
over
saying.
with.
I don't even know if I can say that. But listen, I said it already, so it's too late. So we're just gonna keep this thing rolling, okay? I was reading the comments, Mr. Sir. Please
Yeah.
forgive me. Y'all, we on YouTube too, so
Oh,
just in
Oh,
case
yep.
y'all looking
I see
for
it.
it.
yeah.
But yeah, but
I feel like our worries were different than these kids are now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like I
yeah.
really do.
My worry was
Like
going home.
I didn't feel like I had to worry about kids my age trying to knock me off. You know what I'm saying? Or shit like that, or
No,
somebody snatching me or anything like that. Like if we was tripping, we boxed. Like that's how
yeah,
we got down. It
yeah,
wasn't I didn't have to worry about some 13-year-old kid coming and trying to shoot me. You know what I'm saying? Like that
yeah. Well,
wasn't
that's
something
just like That's
Go
just
ahead.
like you
Sorry.
hear the word bully all the time now. Like, what was that growing up? Like, listen, you got one too many
Yeah.
times to say something crazy to me, and we gonna throw them things.
For
Period.
real.
That
That's what
that
I'm
I
saying.
that is a trigger word for me because as a person who severely got bullied, bullies were very real for me, extremely. And yes, I was still a fighter, but that's what made me a fighter because
Right.
beforehand that was not my thing. I mean, I could barely see, so it was even worse as a kid. So out there fighting, I was forced to be like that. Like I got bullied bad. So no, them bullies was definitely real.
Shalana was walking with that stick.
But I mean, okay,
Anybody
think
say
about
something crazy,
okay.
she gonna smack the hell out of.
I'm not saying that they wasn't real. I'm saying though, like, think about it. Okay. The first
I didn't go. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
one of the first fights that I got into, this girl would not leave me alone, y'all. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a fighter in middle school. I wasn't a fighter until I got into about the 7th or 8th grade. 6th grade, I'm not gonna lie, I was tall, I was fat, I was 6 foot tall, okay, in the 6th grade. I was fat, I was light skinned, okay. And so I caught hell in middle school, not gonna lie, okay, because being fat wasn't in back then. It is now, but it wasn't back then, okay. And so they used to torment me, and this one girl used to mess with me and mess with me and mess with me. And I guess you can call it bullying. And I wasn't no fighter. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to be involved in that. And my mama told me, you gonna go out here and you gonna beat her ass, or you gonna come in this house and I'm gonna whoop you.
Yep.
Baby, I got in that yard that day. Okay. I got in that yard that day, and it was that day that it woke up the beast in me. And anybody else that had anything to say from that point on, it's hands and feet, like Rollo said, hands and feet. That's it. That's what
For
you're gonna get
real.
from me. Before we even make it to the point of bullying or any of that, like, no, let's do this. We got you. What you want to do?
And see,
So
bullies were a thing back then. We just didn't really, like I said, we just wasn't like that. We was cut different. You know
yeah,
what I'm
we
saying?
didn't
Like
call it that.
you try to bully me when we get off at this bus stop, you got action. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? But nowadays, kids get bullied, they come home and they lock themselves in the room tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't understand it. You know
Well,
what
they
I
say
mean?
that's a part of us raising them soft, though. They do say that a lot. Like our generation makes them soft because we raise them soft. But you probably right. Y'all
I feel
probably
like
I
right.
didn't want a bunch of pit bulls because, like I said, and the way I raised my kids, like I took some of the old school ways, like you know what I'm saying, like for instance, like y'all just named, you know what I'm saying, if somebody come over here tripping, no, go handle it, get your ones, you know. So it's like that courage that is
yeah,
enforced. I try to do that, but then for me, I always go back to I mean, at the end of the day, I was not a fighter. Now I got hands. Like I said, I turned into that, but I was not a fighter. That stuff really used to mess me up. People taking my glasses, knocking my glasses off my face. I remember, man, I could laugh about this stuff now, y'all, but this stuff was crazy as a kid. I got chased
hey,
one
hey,
time
no.
so bad. I
I'm
gotta
only
tell
laughing because my wife tell me that all the time. I'm gonna knock the glasses off.
yeah, no, but seriously, y'all, this stuff was crazy growing up. Like I got chased one time, right? And I gotta tell this story. And this is gonna go into the old school parenting rules. I got chased. I'm at school. A group of girls, because with me being around all boys, I was rough, I was aggressive. So never one girl could never just take me. It was always a bunch of them. So a group of girls chasing me. They trying to take my glasses, doing the most. I mean, I'm running, y'all. I'm booking it across the field. Gone. I turn around to see where the girls were. As soon as I turn back around, hit smack dead into the pole. I don't remember nothing else. I remember waking up in the nurse's office. And the crazy thing is, my mom came to get me, and all I hear is my mom, you better make sure you go back and get them. I'm over here with a knot on my head, glasses broken in my hand. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm not about to go, you know what I'm saying, fight these group of girls that clearly just got me, you know what I'm
Hey, for
saying?
real.
So
Because
for
if they would have
me,
took them glasses,
boy, but you know how many
you'd
times
been lost on the
that had happened
playground.
to me. And so for
Yeah.
me, I was like, I needed more than just encouragement to go back and fight. No, I needed protection. Like I was scared, you know.
Yeah.
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 So for me, that's the type of stuff that I think about. Like I'm not about to force my kid now. Like I said, I'm going to try to inspire you, give you courage, get your ones. Don't let nobody come to your house and punk you. I still got those same values. But in the same token, like I say, individually, if I notice this person is just not a fighter, like I got kids that's not fighters. If I notice this kid is just not that, I'm not going to force them to go do that and get beat up. Like, why would you send your kid out to get beat up?
There's a lesson in that.
Hey, listen, back then, even if you knew you was finna get beat up, you better just go on out there and fight.
But
Yeah,
that's
catch that
horrible.
fade.
That is traumatizing. That's
Catch that fade.
Hey, listen. Hey, but you know what though? That's one part of old school parenting that I agree with, because you're right. It is traumatizing. Hey, but they couldn't just run over you. Ain't nobody just finna run over you. Like, that was instilled in us as a child. Like, it might be traumatizing, but hey, I'd rather take that whooping outside than this one in the house, because I don't got time for that. And if I got to take two today, so I was out there fighting for my life, because if not, she brought me in this world, she was going to take me out. And so for me, like, I'm fighting. Listen, I got something to lose right now. So we're going to get out in this yard and do these 1-2s. Period.
There's another way to get that courage out, and that's basically fight or flight response. There's another way to activate that. You don't have to send your kid out there to get pummeled to activate fight or flight.
I don't know.
Well, see,
I
I
don't
be
know.
trying to tell
And
my
I only
boys.
say that, because Trey Saya, like I said, Trey Saya was soft, bro. Like, and I used to watch this happen to him. And as me as a parent, like, I'm mama bear, I be want to knock people's kids out, like, leave my son alone. You know what I mean? And I put him in football because, Coach Renz was like, put him in football. It'll help him. Like, it'll show him different things. His dad was like, put him in football. They kept telling me, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to put him in football because he don't want to play football.
Right.
Well, his dad kept telling me, like, just put him in football. You're going to make him soft. At least that'll teach him some things. He was getting in trouble in school. I talked to a couple of the coaches. The coach was like, no, I'll be there. I'm gonna be there if he gets in trouble. I'll go up to the school. I'll talk to him. Coach ran.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I put him in football. Year one, them boys used to bully the mess out my son. When I tell you, they would just mess with him just to be messing with him. And for me, it's because he was so soft, and it used to make me mad to where, like I said, I was ready to knock somebody's kids out. And then year two, I seen it start to wake up in him a little bit. By year three, he was swinging on the referees and the other kids that didn't have nothing to do with it, swinging kids around by their helmets. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that's right, son. And so for
But
me,
that was activated in football.
well, it was activated in life, because I was telling them, these boys ain't finna keep messing with you. You're gonna have to get out here and do something about it, period.
Yeah.
And so watching these boys bully my son and bully my son and bully my son, and then finally I was telling him, he come tell me, like, go handle that. What you come tell me for? Go handle that. Like, that was my response after a while. Like, son, I'm not finna, you gonna have to go handle that. You way bigger than that boy. Put your hands on him. Like, stop letting him put his hands on you. And I'm telling you, I'll never forget, one day we was at the football field. Trey Sy was laying on the turf. They had just got done playing. And this boy that messed with him all the time stepped on him with his cleats on his stomach. Trey Sy got up and grabbed the wrong kid and commenced to whooping this little boy with his helmet on. He's punching the boy in the helmet. Don't even know he's not hurting the boy because he got a helmet on. Okay. He's tearing this boy up. I had to snatch Trey Sy. Like, that's not even the boy that did it, son. You're beating up the wrong kid. He don't care. He don't even care. He snatched up the first kid he could find. Yeah, he don't care. But I mean, it woke up something in him. And I'm telling you, like, when the school calls me now, like when we was in Garden City, he got into it with this little boy that kept messing with him. He kept telling him, like, you ain't shit. You ain't never going to be shit, this and this and that. And I kept telling Trey Sy, like, somebody at home probably talks to him like that. So be passionate, be kind. Like, you don't know what this little boy's going through at home. Yeah. And so I called the school. I did my parent duties, went up there, talked to the principal. And I told him, I said, this boy keeps messing with my son. Like, you need to fix it. The little boy kept messing with him. So finally I told him, son, you go to school. This is what you do. You're going to beat that boy up in the hallway, okay? Not in the classroom. I need you to do it in the hallway when all the other kids is moving around and can see you beat this little boy up. And then you're going to come home. We're going to talk about it. Sure enough, the next day, the school called me. Okay, so I got into a fight in the hallway today at school. The first thing I asked him, well, did he win? Because that's going to determine what happens when he gets home. Did he win? Well, yeah, he beat him up pretty bad. Okay, that's all I need to do. I'll be there to get him. Click. And when my son got home, I told him, good job, because that boy kept messing with him. I don't care. Like, I understand what you're saying. I've never taught my son to be an aggressive kind of kid or to be like out here just fighting to be fighting. But at the end of the day, you're not going to bully my son. You're not going to run over him. You're not going to make him feel like you just got that to do.
For real.
Period.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
I had that same thing happen last year with my oldest boy. There was this kid at school that was bigger than him that kept messing with him. Finally, he had enough of that shit. He squared up with him, punched dude right out. Principal called us. We go to the school. He said, "Yeah, Lyric punched the kid up." He's like, "But I gotta tell you, hey, he had perfect form when he did it." He's like, "He got them fists up and threw that hand." I'm like, "That's my boy." But I had to kind of, you know what I'm saying, keep the excitement down. But I'm like, I'm glad you finally did that, bro,
Yeah.
because now he's gonna leave you alone. And he
Yeah.
did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the
Now
thing about it
he
is
won't
it
stop
just
trying
takes
to punch
one.
people.
It just takes one
Yeah.
example. It just takes one
Yeah.
example. You whoop one kid good enough, hey, and it is what it is. And I'm telling you, that's my first question. Anytime he gets into a fight, he just got in trouble. It was last week he got in trouble. And they called, he got into it with this boy. The teacher was telling me the scenario and said they talked to all the other kids. The kid was being mean to him, and Trey Sy asked him several times to stop. And Trey Sy ran up on him in the hallway, and I'm like, did he win? That's all I need to know. And the principal was probably taken back, and they probably all are when I asked, but I need to know genuinely, did he win?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And that's that old school parenting, because that's how my parents were too. Like, they gonna stand out there and make sure you whoop them.
Yeah,
Because if you come in this house and you take that L, you're gonna take another one when you get in here.
for
Believe
real.
that.
Especially
I
if you
feel
got
like
the steam calling me.
more so with old school parents, they didn't think about it like that. I mean, they just wanted their kid to win, because some of them kids were bullies like a mug, and their parents were still outside. Beat them down, baby, beat them down. Well, look, man, Gerald's been picking on everybody all freaking summer. You know what I'm saying? And you still got him over here whooping on people. So, so for me, I am like very detailed. Like, I ain't gonna lie, when my kids get in trouble at school, I am definitely that parent. I want to hear the story, how to start, what happened. Because to be for real, I do take into account that kids be picking on kids. And I do know I got a kid that like to instigate. So my thing is, I
Yeah,
want to know, what was you doing to make the hands being blown in the first place? You know what I'm saying? To make the hands being thrown. So that's my thing. Like, I always try to just pay attention, get as much information as possible before I figure out what I'm gonna do with them at home. I'm not
that was the main
automatically
reason
just
I
gonna
got
be
in
like,
trouble in
"Oh, did you
school.
win? Get them." No, because sometimes my kid is the one over here starting stuff, and no, I'm not gonna encourage. Did you win?
Okay, well, that's different though. Like, I don't encourage bullying. My son knows how I feel about that. If
Heck
I feel
yeah,
like he just out here messing with a kid, like, I'm gonna let him know, like, we don't get down like that. But thankfully, I feel like my son is humble enough, and he's a little, y'all know Trace, a little bit strange,
yeah.
just a little bit.
He's
Like,
so silly.
he's socially awkward. You know what I mean? And so I feel like he's not even the type to even be at school bullying nobody. And so
Right.
I feel like if he's got to fight somebody, it's genuinely because somebody is messing with him. Because Trey Sy is gonna tell him like, "Hey, bro, leave me alone."
Yeah,
Leave me alone before it gets to that point. And like I said, the teacher explained that he said several times, "Hey, leave me alone." Like, told the teacher, like, "Hey, he's messing with me," and the boy kept going. So he politely one two'd him out in the hallway. Period.
So
yeah.
Now, what
clearly
you're
that
saying,
kid
Say,
had
I
it
totally
coming.
agree with that.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Rollo?
I said clearly that kid had it coming.
Period. Let's look
Like,
at some of these comments.
He go right
um,
ahead.
Keisha says, and now the other bullies know he's not the one or the two. Lloyd said,
Right.
"Let's go, son." Lloyd says, we have to be behind our kids when these other kids be coming at them. If we show our kids that we don't care, then they're not going to care. And then
Right.
Tanya says, my question is, schools don't like bullying, but they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah. They
They
And they
don't.
don't.
really don't.
They don't.
And that's the sad part about it. And that's why I tell my kids, hey, I don't give a damn what this school say. Somebody messing with you, handle your
Yeah.
business and I'll handle them. You know
Yeah.
what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, you worry about handling that. I'll take care of the school because
Hey,
that's
Joyce.
I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I refuse to let my kid be a bully, but I even more refuse to let somebody else bully my kid. Like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, you only gonna handle that. That's just only gonna happen one time. And then you
Yep.
let him know after
Yep.
school, when we walk out these doors, It's action. You got to take that, like, for real,
Yeah.
because I want to see if you really about that shit you talking. You know what I'm saying? Because a
Yeah.
lot of them, they just like to cap. They just like to talk trash. If you
Yep.
really about that, when we get out here, show me you about it. Show me you will
Yeah.
really wish that. And most of them, 90% of the time, they don't.
Yeah.
They go tell the principal, and the principal call me, and then I'm like, hey, check this out, bro. If this kid gonna keep doing this and y'all gonna keep allowing it to happen, this is what I told my son to do.
Yep.
What are you
And
gonna do about it?
And that's the thing. So before
Yeah.
destruction always comes warning, okay? Because I'm that type
Yeah.
of parent where I'm going to try to resolve the issue first. I'm going to make sure that I'm very present in my son's school life. And so for me, if he's coming home every day telling me about this boy, I'm going to make sure I do my 1-2s and let you know, like, hey, this is happening. I need you to handle this because God is still working on me too. So
Yeah.
for me, when I get into that mode where anybody can get it, your kids, your mama, your auntie, your grandma, or whoever else show up at this school, it is what it is behind my son. And so I'm gonna try to, before it gets to that point, I'm gonna have that conversation with the adults. And if they don't handle that, my son has full permission to go to school. Son, handle that. And like
100%.
I said,
Yeah.
don't handle it in the bathroom. Don't handle it in the classroom. I need
Nope.
you to handle it in the lunchroom while it's a packed house, or in the hallway when it's what's it called? Passing
Passing
period.
Passing
period.
period. Yep.
Period. Okay. When everybody's in the hallway,
Well,
I
I
need
want
everybody to
everybody
see
to
it.
see it.
Okay.
Yep.
And if his mama come up here tripping because she's mad because her son got beat up, please call his mama. Because the worst thing you can say is call your mama.
Oh yeah. We know
I'm
that.
telling you. Hey, I
She's
say the
coming.
same. I say the same thing. Boy, listen. I'm on my journey, like you said, but I ain't all the way there. So if you come over here tripping, I'm like, hey, you better go call your pops for sure,
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna discuss this with you. Go get your dad, and
Right.
then your
Yeah.
dad's gonna have to come out here and discuss that with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't let the old demeanor fool you. I'm still about that life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I need
There's
people to
levels
chill
to it.
out. Yeah, there's
There's
definitely
For
levels.
sure.
levels to it. I try
For
to be
sure.
reserved. I try to be cool because, like I said, I'm a spiritual man. I don't like to put
Yeah.
that kind of energy out there. You know what I mean? But don't get it twisted when it comes to my kids. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
never make the mistake that I won't do what I need to do to make sure my babies is cool. Because I will not allow your kid to continue to do that to my
Yeah.
son. That's not happening. Like,
Yeah.
So handle it or he will. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Hey, they said
Period.
we said it takes a village, so we got to be a part of the village. So
For
if
real.
you ain't handling your kid at home, I'm a part of your village, and I'll handle them for you.
And the thing about it is, I don't care whose kid it is. Because if we got to
Right? They
fight
all
about it,
get
we
the
just
same treatment.
Yeah.
listen. I don't care whose kid it is. Because if you're offended that I had to correct your child, then we just got that to do. It
That's
is what
that
it
old
is.
school part of all of us that we gonna keep, and we
Hey,
just
for
gonna
Yeah.
put
real.
it like that because I'm like that too. I'm like how Rolo is. I'm very spiritual. I'm very calm. I'm very collected. And also I'm very logical and detail oriented. So
Yeah.
I'm always willing to listen to both sides because I do believe that there's always three sides to the story: his, hers, and the truth. So
Yeah.
I'm always willing to hear a person out. But if we have had a conversation about your child and nothing is getting fixed and I'm not seeing nothing, then after that,
Yeah.
it's
No,
a
for
whole
real.
yard outside.
For real. Because these hands are
Yeah.
equal opportunity. I ain't
Yeah.
tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't tripping.
You-
I ain't discriminating. Anybody that want it can get it. For real.
Anybody that want it
So,
can get it. Okay. And
like,
that's it.
behind
Just
my
is what it
babies, don't
is.
play with me. For real.
yeah,
And I always say that's the only thing in this world that I'll go over anymore. How I make my money, my child, and my family. That's it. And
That's
I
yeah,
it.
mean my
That's all.
family right here in the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
That's it. Other than
Yeah.
that,
That's
I'm gonna
all.
think about it. We might be able to communicate about it. But behind them three things, baby, it's going down. Because like I
Yeah.
said, I'm changing. God has brought me a long, 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 long way. But
Long
baby,
way.
I ain't
you
there
went
yet.
all the way.
Yeah, for
I
real.
ain't there yet.
And we need to make that clear to the audience. We are still healing. We are still
Right
Yeah.
trying to get where we're
in the
going. This
process.
journey, yeah, this is not no one and done. There's
No.
Right.
levels and steps to this, and we're taking those steps. But make
And
no
sometimes I
mistake,
get knocked
if
back
I
a few
have to
steps.
step back, I will step back and
Yeah.
things are gonna be a little bit different for everybody.
Yeah.
You
And you're
know
gonna
what
wish
I
you
mean?
would have just kept me on the step I was
I'm
on.
telling
Right.
you,
You're gonna wish you would have just left me alone.
for real, for real,
Just leave
for
me
real.
alone. Because
Because I stay to
I'm gonna give
myself.
you
So if I have to come out of my peaceful place,
did you
it's
hear
not
me?
gonna it's not gonna be peace that I'm bringing with me. You know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
not.
No.
Lloyd said, Rolo, we men, levels don't matter when it comes to our kids, especially our girls.
100%, big
Oh
bro.
yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Hey, that's one thing about my
Yeah.
daddy,
That's
y'all.
my guy.
Hey, my dad, nutcase. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my brother would go out and just start nothing, everything for no reason. Okay. We just be out and he just do the craziest thing at a house party and rile up the whole party and then leave and come back with my daddy. Okay.
Yeah.
And here go my daddy ready to, he don't never just want to fight. Okay. He's not rap tight. He ain't never really been rap tight.
Right.
And so it's um I don't know if I can say that on the internet, so I'm
We ain't
not
gonna
going
go
to.
into it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to, but
Yeah.
my dad was a fool, okay? He didn't just want to fight. It was always some craziness. And
Yeah.
so for me as the girl, like I know he's coming for me. So I was always scared to call my dad. So I could be
Yeah.
outside fighting 13 girls and I'm gonna just fight him and we're gonna do what it do and I'm gonna tell my dad the story afterwards. I'm never gonna call my dad into a situation because I know the level of
Mhm.
disrespect that he goes to, whether you male, female, any of
Both
that back
ways.
then, like it
Yeah.
Hey,
didn't
I'm
matter.
still
For
afraid
real.
to call my dad's, and like I
Yeah,
be telling y'all, I don't just have one that go, I got two that go, and they both are something else. And I'm still to this day, at almost 40 years old, afraid to call my fathers about anything. Like I've never done that
Hey,
because yeah,
my
no,
oldest daughter, she'll
we
call
ain't
me
gonna
in a
mess with daddies
heartbeat.
right there.
She'll call me in a heartbeat. Dad, they over here tripping. I'm pulling up with all the festivities.
and see,
For
I
real.
won't. I won't
See,
call
I
my
won't
dad.
because
If
those
I call,
festivities are gonna be too big.
yeah, if I call my dad, it's gonna be somebody
Bang
going to
that.
jail, and it's gonna be him. And so
Oh
for me,
yeah,
like I didn't want
100%.
my dad to go to jail, and so
Yeah.
I refused to call him unless the situation was bigger than me. If the situation was bigger than me, because I ain't gonna lie, like my dad says all the time, I should have been his boy, and my brother should have been his girl. Okay,
For
because I'm gonna
real.
get out there. I'm gonna get out in the field, male, female, it don't matter. We're gonna get out in the field because that's how I was raised, like we're gonna go. But if it was beyond me, I'll call my dad. But very, very rarely did I call him because he was a nutcase. Okay. My mama was crazy too.
Yeah.
She was nuts. She got out there too. She was usually out there with like our family members or something. Like I seen her fight my auntie a couple times. She got hands, I'm not gonna lie. But
But
my
see, when it
dad, he
comes to
was a
my
different,
kids,
he
I'm
was
not peaceful. I'm not
yeah,
peaceful. It don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like the police pulled her over one time and was out here on some foul play. And I drove from Burton all the way here in 5 minutes and was out there tripping with the police with the canine out because I don't care. Your
yeah,
dog could get smacked right along with you. You better leave her alone. Like y'all know this shit wrong. Go on about your business. You know what I mean? Like I'm
yeah,
not gonna sit here. Nothing you can say to me is gonna matter when my daughter say, "Dad, I need you here,"
Yeah.
or any of my kids. Nothing you have to say is gonna make a difference. You know what I mean? I'm already coming with hostile intentions, so it don't even matter.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to
yeah,
get out of that mind frame, but listen, it's hard because once my adrenaline get pumping, especially when it comes to my babies, I don't hear no rhyme or reason. Because if she had to call me, then evidently something you did was out of pocket. So you're
yeah,
wrong no matter what she say
Right.
or what you
yeah.
say. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
Like,
so and I'm glad that the fact that you say if she had to call you, you knew already. So that's how my dad was too, because he know I'm not gonna call him.
yeah,
Okay. And if I
for real.
really need him. So he knows if I call him, oh, he's coming immediately. And he's gonna be there at
Immediately.
2.3. I don't care if he's across the
For real.
world.
I'm not
Okay. He's
hey,
coming. He's
Hey,
crossing
y'all
every
know.
ocean, every sea,
yeah,
every galaxy to get to me because he
with the
knows I need
intentions
him.
on tripping.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's going down.
Hey, y'all, I was like beyond scared because I'm telling you, like for me, just like I said, knowing both of my fathers, both of them, I know how they are when it comes to just only disciplining, you know what I'm saying, their kids. So it's like if you go ham with disciplining a child, you're gonna go 3 times as ham with a stranger that you don't love and don't care about. So for
Yeah.
me, it was always like, nope, I'm not even gonna call. Like, I'm not like I remember one time my dad that raised me, he talked to me, he was like, "You didn't even call me and you needed." I'm like, "Dad, like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna call you. I'm not because like I said, I care about I care about what's gonna happen because I know it's just gonna go from 0 to 1 million. So there's no point. That's
Yep.
that. Them old school fathers don't play.
Hell
And
no.
Rolo, you got some of that. You know what I'm saying? You inherited some of that.
For real. I'll be ready to trip out on people for real. But I like I said, I'm trying to get better hold of myself. I know you can't always react like that, but listen, like I said, if they call, you did something because they ain't gonna call me. If
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, usually they'll handle it themselves. So if they have to call me, it's crunch time. It ain't no there's nothing else to be said about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I be wanting them up. I be wanting somebody like go get your daddy. Come on,
right.
please, please. I've been
You don't
waiting on
want that. You don't want
this.
that.
They don't want that.
Right.
No, you don't want that, baby.
Like, for
Please
real.
don't say go get your mama, because I'm the last person you want to come. Okay,
Right.
Like
your
for
mama,
real.
no. And now I'm with my husband, and he's crazier than I am when it comes to the kids. And so the day somebody says go get your daddy, boy, I'm telling
It's a
baby,
wrap.
you asking for
It's
the
a
wrong
wrap.
person. You
Yeah.
asking for the wrong person. Okay, let's not do that. Let's just because I've seen Lloyd. So when our oldest daughter was here, I'm not gonna put her business out there too much, but she had a situation, and she would call Lloyd every time the situation was going on, and he would go bananas every time. And I had to tell him, like, babe, you gonna have to let her grow up, and let her start being an adult, and understanding that she has to learn on her own. Life is the best lesson that you can have, and if she's going to keep going through the same situation, there's really nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? But from
Yeah.
a man's point of view and perspective, like, he didn't care about that. And I'm like, but we have other things that we have to focus on, like our smaller children who don't have a choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, stepping back out of because that's how we was raised too. And so now, like, where I used to just go for anything, like, I'll take a step back and be like, is this really worth it? Because if I got to come out this house, I'm going to jail. And so for me, like, I have to take a step back now. Like, is it really worth going to jail
Hmm.
over? Because we ain't just going to talk about it. If I got to come out this house and it's to the point where I'm coming out of, like you said, my peaceful place, and I'm taking that step back, baby, it's gonna have to be for a reason. I don't
Yeah.
believe in misdemeanors. I just don't.
For
I'm sorry.
real.
Um,
For real.
Real.
so it's gonna be some crazy activity going on. And so for me, like, I have to really take a step back and think, like, is this worth tricking off everything that I've worked for and everything that I'm going for right now? And 9 times out of 10 nowadays, it's not. It's
Yeah.
just not.
Nah, but like I said, with people nowadays come from a different time than we did. Uh, because I like growing up, I was taught to react and then ask questions later. You know what I'm saying? And most nowadays, everybody just want to have a conversation. And as good as I am at speaking with people, I'm not much for conversation when it comes to some shit that I ain't really with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like that's why I just try to stay away from people and I try to keep my kids away from people per se. Like I want them to grow up, but I'm like, hey, you got to pick and choose the type of people you want around you. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's gonna be somebody on some encouraging you to do some wild shit or somebody that's it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't really on that level that you are as far as trying to stay on the right path, keep them type of people away from you because
Yeah,
they'll drag you in some shit unintentionally just because you kicking it with them. You know what I'm saying? Like you definitely don't want that because I've been in
Lord.
situations like that where I'd have had to smack somebody over some shit and I ain't even had nothing to do with it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Lord, we got
So
Lloyd out in the car in an uproar. Okay. Y'all see his
Oh,
comments? He's in all caps. He's in all caps right now. He ain't stopped yelling for the last 3 comments, baby. I'm gonna need you to take a breath and calm down,
hey,
okay?
that's my guy right there.
Hey, I'm gonna
That's
need you
my
to breathe
guy.
and calm down. He gonna come in this house ready to go. TTG. We don't got time for that. Sit down, okay?
That's my guy right
We need you to
there.
calm down, baby.
Yo, everybody's so hypey.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
For real. Okay, so with that new school, old school parenting, the old school part come with the go get your mama, go get your daddy. You know what I'm saying? And the new school's like, well, let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm not that new school, so Like
Yeah.
we ain't got much to talk about.
Now that we're having this whole conversation, I feel like you guys are more so old school and I'm the new school one.
And that's crazy because you're old.
I'm gonna let you get away with that
Hey,
You
because I'm
pointing the
still
wrong
fine as
way.
wine. Y'all see that skin though.
Hey, you do
hey,
got good
Keisha.
skin.
Hey, Keisha said, kids these days think everybody is their friend. I feel like a lot of that has to do with the way we raise them these days. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and
Because
I
they have so
mean,
many opinions and so many
and we
so
allow them to have them.
yeah.
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 We
Yeah,
allow
because I
them to
have to
have
remind my
opinions.
kids. Like I had to remind my 8-year-old recently, like, dude, like, because he always says, "Mom, you're my best friend. You're my best friend," and I had to tell him, like, I love the fact that you look at me as your best friend, but you also have to keep in mind that I'm your mother. And right now I'm your mother. I'm not your friend. Like as you
Yeah,
get older, we're gonna have our friendship as far as like in the forefront because I do believe in stages. Because I have a 22-year-old about to be 23. You guys, they know already, but I'm talking to the ones that don't know. My oldest is 22, about to be 23. To be for real, yes, I still parent her. Like I still give her, knowledge and wisdom, and I'm still guiding her on how to be a woman. But in the same token, the friendship is number one because when they're young adults, you need them to trust you because you're going to
Yeah.
be the first person they call. Like I'm the first person Taki calls. If she
yeah,
needs something, she calls
Yeah.
me first. If she needs help, if she lost whatever, she needs to learn how to cook a meal, she's calling me. And that took for us to
yeah,
have a friendship. But the
Yeah.
other ones that are younger, no, I got to be mama. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe at some point the friendship is important. But like I said, I believe there's levels to that. You know what I'm saying? The 8-year-old, no, I can't be your best friend right now. I'm mom. But the older one, we do
yeah.
put friendship first.
I guess I feel like you're right. Like Trey Saya is not my best friend, but at the same time, like we do have a friendship to where I feel like he can talk to me about everything and anything. And so for me growing up, I feel like, I turned to the streets the way I did and got a lot of the wrong advice from the wrong people because I was scared to talk to my
You
parents
didn't
because they
have that.
instilled
Yeah.
fear in us. So I wasn't able to go and talk to them about things that I needed to talk to them about, or that I felt like I probably could have got different advice from them, better advice from a parent standpoint, because I was
Yeah.
scared to even have the conversation with him. Where I feel like the parenting that I've done with Trey Sai, like he's gonna come and talk to me about the
Yeah.
things. And if he's not gonna talk to me, he's gonna talk to Lloyd as the man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like he's open enough to feel like some of this stuff that he's telling me here lately, I'd be like, son, I do not want to hear that shit. Okay. Like he's going through his different stage in life right now, and some of the things that he said and some of the conversations I've heard him and Lloyd talking about in front of me, I'd be like, I don't even want to hear this. Like, what are we talking about
Yeah.
right now? But I'm happy that he's comfortable enough to have those type of conversations, because those are the type of conversations I was having with my homies. And they
Yep.
was giving me the wrong advice because they was fast as hell out here giving it up. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And had I have had my mother or father to talk to when I was in that pivotal point of my life that I felt like I was getting ready to do some shit that I ain't had no business, and they would have told me like the real behind it, and better ways to look at the situation, instead of my homies telling me just do that shit.
Right.
I think things would in my life would have been a little bit different. And so I understand drawing the fine line between parenting and your friendship, but at the same time, like I want my son to trust me enough that he's able to come and talk to me and know that I'm going to be here for him, and I got his best interest at heart, where these dudes down the street really don't care about you.
Yeah.
See, I talk to I'm super open with my kids. You know what I mean? Like I don't really like I don't really keep anything from them. I say everything, anything, whatever. I have no filter when it comes to my kids. Like I say what I'm gonna say, and that's just
Yeah,
gonna be. But like I think we have a healthy understanding on I'm the dad, you're the child. We can be friends when we out here hooping, but if you cuss, I'm gonna smack you in your mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of situation.
Yeah.
As far as my oldest daughter though, like that's my ace boon coon for real. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, that's my girl.
Yeah.
But I I be messing with her a lot, but she still has that healthy balance between friendship and me being her father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and she drew that line. Like even at even at almost 22, she don't cuss in front of me. Like she just won't do it. You know what I mean? I'll even ask her to say cuss words and she just won't do it. That's just her. But let me ask my 10-year-old, she'll cuss up a storm. I say one cuss word, she'll say 10 of them. And I'll be like, I said one. Like, you know what I mean? So we still
Been
trying to
waiting for
establish that
permission.
line with her. But like, I don't know, man. I like I like being close with my kids like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I really do. And as long as they're respectful. So yeah, I can be your friend sometime, but most of the time I just rather be your pops because I need to be the one to be able to tell you when you out here fucking up or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a lot of kids, so I still got a long way to go.
That's why you got split personalities, because you
How
got to be
many
a
kids
different
do
type
you
of
have,
parent to all
Rolo?
kids.
How many kids do
Tell,
I have?
tell the audience how many children you have.
I'll never tell.
Rolo, how many kids do you have, Rolo?
9.
Do you guys see how he had to look up like this? 9.
Shit. Earlier I was struggling trying to say one of them's name. I was like, you. Come here. I'm like, me? No, not you. You. Come here. Like, yeah, I got a lot of kids. But
Yeah,
my oldest one is a girl. My oldest 2 are
Oh,
girls.
yeah,
So
he was
I
definitely
think
fruitful
that's
and
where my
multiplied.
softness came from was them. Cause I
yeah.
can't talk to them like I do my boys, you know what I'm saying? Cause if I even raise my voice the slightest bit, they just melt. They start just all over the place.
That's what that effect that the daddy has on them daughters. Cause I was like that too. Even still to this
Yeah,
day, my father could say something to me, and I'm just like, dang, like that feeling in me will hush up quick. Let one of them tell
yeah,
me, watch your mouth. All right, yes.
yeah.
My dad, hey, listen, my dad still to this day. So how I knew I was in trouble with him is he called me by my first and middle name, Ashley Diane. And when he said that, baby, he didn't even have to put hands and feet on me. If he called me by my first and middle name, I was crying in tears. I knew I was in trouble. Okay. As
Yeah.
soon as I heard it, I knew I didn't even play with him. Some of that best ass whoopings I got in my life came from my father. I'm not gonna lie. Now, Miss Gwen, she was good at throwing stuff. She'd be in the living room, okay, and hear me and my brother in the room talking crazy, and she would throw a high heel from the living room, bam, and it's gonna connect every time. And I don't know how it would hit that corner. Boom, that heel would come all the way around the corner to connect. Okay. She was good. She knew how to hit us from wherever she was.
That's crazy. Moms got aim like that. Like that's wild to me. I never understood that because I tried to play catch with my mom, and normally she can't throw worth a damn. But when it come to trying to hit you with something,
Go
she
connect.
don't miss. Like she
Every
does not
time.
miss, and that's just that don't make no sense.
Hey, y'all, my kids be mad at me because y'all know I can't see, but they be like, how does she still connect? Like, they be trying to move,
I'm
and I'm
telling
still
you,
gonna get
that's because you got like sonar like a bat.
you. Yep, I'm gonna be able to feel where your body go.
For real.
Oh, there's Lou. Lou finally tapped in. She said, when you call me Alicia, instead of Lou,
Alicia.
I already know.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Keisha
Already.
said, be listening, we don't judge.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you, Keisha. Thank you.
All
Yeah.
right, y'all. So I think we're gonna get ready to wrap this up.
Yes, we are.
Let me see. So you guys know that May is Mental Health Month. This is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mhm.
So next week on our show, we are going to move our episodes around a little bit. We did have some other topics that we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Accountability was supposed to be next week. We're not going to talk about accountability next week. We are going to talk about mental health awareness. We want everybody to come on. We want to
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
mental health awareness. And I think this goes kind of like with the old school parenting and new school parenting, because
Yes.
let's be real. When we were kids, mental health was not a thing. It wasn't talked
Yep.
about in our households. I think that it's super, super important as a new day parent, a new school parent, to talk to your kids about mental health awareness,
Yeah.
and to just kind of check in on them. I do allow my son to have mental health days. There has been days where he
Yep.
wakes up and he's like, hey, I don't think I can do this today. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to. You
Yep.
know, now don't get it twisted. We're not doing that consistently,
Right.
Yes.
but I
Right.
do believe that he should have time to himself and to be able to reconnect with himself, because it's super important for us as adults too.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be
Very
talking
much
about
so.
next week's show. We'll be talking about mental health awareness, just kind of popping in, talking about some of the mental health issues that we may have been through in our life, our childhood, adulthood, teenage years. We want to hear from you guys. Hey, Brooklyn. We want to hear from you guys about mental health and how you guys feel about it, and some of the things that you guys may have went through, or you guys might have children that are going through mental health things that we might be able to talk through. Mother's Day is next Sunday, so we hope that all the moms jump on. We can toast. Bring your wine.
Yeah.
We'll toast to all the
Bring
mothers. Mother's Day. Oh, I poured me up some more, girl. I'm toxic. I'm real toxic. Okay. While y'all were talking, I was pouring, baby. It's not a game. This is glass number 2 going down.
Oh my Lord.
Next Sunday, make sure that you guys bring your wine to the live. We will
Yeah.
ask you what kind of wine you're sipping on. If you don't drink wine, bring something else. That's fine. Bring whatever you drink.
Right.
Huge shout out for everybody that tapped in, that's been in the comments tonight. We appreciate you guys. Huge shout out to Rolo and Shay for
Definitely.
continuing to walk this mission with me,
Yes.
and us as a unit together, for all the conversations that we have on and off of Facebook. I really love you guys and appreciate you guys. Like I said, the audience, we appreciate you guys for showing up and showing out in the chat. Thank you for the energy. I did drop our TikTok just now, and I'm going to drop our YouTube right now too. You guys, if you guys have not liked and subscribed to those, please make sure that you do. Make sure that you share those out. This live will be available on TikTok on YouTube tomorrow. You guys, support here is absolutely free. I say it every week. We're not asking you guys for any money. We're not asking you guys to do anything that's crazy, Cash App, any of that. We're asking you guys to share us out. Make sure that you guys are following all of our pages, our YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and just making sure that you're spreading awareness that we are here and that we're trying to do this for you guys as well as ourselves. This is a healing journey and it takes a village. Okay.
Yes, and I want to say something really special to all of my parents. It's being put on me to say this right now, but I want you all to know, to all my parents, my guardians, my foster parents, you matter, you are important, and I want to thank you for doing what you need to do to grow and to heal, to be better for our future generation. Because our kids are the future, and our healing really matters, y'all. Like, it matters a lot. So I just want to say, for all of y'all parents, guardians that's on here, thank you for being a part of this with us. Like, I really truly appreciate it, because like we always say, it takes a village. Healing, it definitely takes a village. So thank you, and keep up the good work. Y'all kids gonna be all right.
Yep.
Yes. All you New Day parents, I love y'all. All of y'all old school parents, I love y'all too. But the New Day parents, y'all keep talking to y'all kids. Y'all keep letting them express themselves, and y'all keep teaching them that it's okay to have a voice. Okay, because I think that's really important with this next generation, especially with the technology and building that relationship, so they're not getting information off of the internet. They're coming to you. You guys always remember that healing isn't a destination, it's a journey. You guys stay grounded, stay growing, and keep rising. Until next time, be well, be whole, and be heightened and enlightened. We love you guys, and we will see you next Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on Facebook.
Happy healing.
Ashe.
Happy healing, y'all.